In the last video, we examined the four principles of contract law and how all laws, even the U.S. Constitution, are supposed to be based upon these four principles. Now let's discuss how these principles are violated by the student loan program scam. I remember a few years back when a lot of criticism was given to credit card companies for handing out credit cards to college students. They were clearly trying to trap these students into perpetual debt at the earliest age yet. I have no idea if that practice is still common, but they discovered an easier way to do it, and that's the student loan scam. The student loan program intentionally violates contract law. The people who wrote it and signed it into law know it. The student loan program has directly allowed the skyrocketing cost of all secondary education. Instead of demanding colleges simply charge affordable rates to the consumers, the students and their families, the elite devised a system where the government will just take up the slack temporarily. With the system as it is, the government mainly just pays the unaffordable extortion demanded by the elite on your behalf. The student loan program is one of the government programs that doesn't pay business extortion for you, like food stamps or Medicare. It simply defers you paying the extortion yourself with interest at a later date. And you end up paying more extortion than was originally demanded. I've attended several community colleges and always paid cash, often with the help of my parents, who aren't elitist by any means. So finally, in about 1995, I decided to attend a university, but I didn't want my parents to accept that burden any longer. During pre-registration, I did everything right, according to the experts. I toured the campus, attended the classes, and interviewed the faculty and administrators before I ever registered or agreed to attend this college. I went and interviewed the local bank that the school suggested to apply for my education grant. I told the bank I didn't want or qualify for a student loan. I wanted the full grant I qualified for or nothing at all. The bank told me not to worry. If I was as poor as I said and on Social Security, I'd qualify for a full grant. When everything was copacetic, I spent the money I saved up for nearly a year to move to the college's location and began the registration process. I even paid for parking access to avoid any problems that might arise from parking. When I went to the bank to apply for my grant, I was surprised to discover that I'd be forced to fill out a loan application to apply for my grant. Imagine my greater surprise when I received only a $500 grant and a $3,500 loan. But now it was too late. I already invested money I didn't have on my move to the college town based upon the false information given to me by the bank. Imagine my further surprise when I started receiving parking tickets for parking in the lot I paid to have access to. This began, quite conveniently for the school, only after the period for any refunds to be granted for quitting school had expired. I was told if I didn't pay off these ticket scams, my grades would be withheld. This was extortion. Then, at roughly the same time, I received yet another surprise. when I found out the main class I was attending college for wasn't even accredited. Of course, I quit that scam of a school and got away from those criminals as quickly as I possibly could. Under contract law, you are under no obligation to fulfill a contract already violated by the other participant in the contract. The bank violated its contract with me by misrepresenting my chances of receiving a full grant. And the school violated their contract by not honoring my paid parking access, by not informing me that a class I enrolled in wasn't accredited, and through the act of attempted extortion. Also, you have a right to quit school at any time for any reason and get a full refund. The school's policy is irrelevant. Your human and consumer rights supersede any policy that infringes on those rights. Being based on contract law, consumer law says if you receive nothing for the money you pay, you get your money back. And criminal law says if any person takes your money through fraud, they have committed the crime of robbery. It's not a civil offense. And before you begin to think, I actually quit because of bad grades, think again. When I quit, I had a 3.85 GPA, and I would have raised that to a 4.0. All I needed to do was make a simple adjustment. In the next video, titled equalism107b, I'll continue with how the student loan program violates the Constitution through a process called Treasury offset. Treasury offset violates the Fourth Amendment that secures our effects against unreasonable seizures without warrant. It violates the Fifth Amendment guarantee of due process, and it violates the Seventh Amendment concerning common law matters over $20. And when applied to the student loans prior to a certain date, it also violates constitutional protections against ex post facto. Please share this video series with as many equalists, with as many non-predators as you possibly can. Thanks.